A very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for joining our Homeopathy 24/7 podcast. We are going to be speaking to an array of international guests who will share their knowledge and experiences of homeopathy with you. We will discuss all types of subjects such as remedies, symptoms, and stories of health. No matter where you are with your homeopathic journey, we aim to inspire you on your quest to natural health and living. The podcast is brought to you by Greensmith, the founder of Homeopathy 24/7, which is a global platform connecting you with a homeopath wherever you are in the world, 24 hours a day. So let's get started with today's chat. Please welcome Mary Greensmith.
Hello, lovely to see you, Dr. Varsha M. Khurana. It's so lovely to invite you back today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Always a pleasure, Mary. Always a pleasure talking to you.
I would love to discuss today more about your fertility program and how you are helping people with fertility, because it's just so amazing that homeopathy can be so useful in this so complex subject. Why did you start helping people with fertility issues?
I guess I would talk about myself first, because I had the infertility diagnosis. I have a history of recurrent miscarriages when I was trying to conceive my son in the first place, and then even before I conceived my daughter, I had another miscarriage. So and nothing helped me except homeopathy. So I think that laid the foundation of me thinking more and more about this, how this is affecting people. And when, as a homeopath, we keep reading about, world news and everything, then I saw that this particular diagnosis is kind of increasing exponentially in the world. And how we are limited to always only thinking about IVF and surrogacy as our only options. So I just thought that why not tell people about this very natural option as well, because it helped me personally in such a beautiful way, and I never had to go through those tedious hormone injections or all of that that comes along with an IVF cycle that you have to undergo. And having worked in a surrogacy center myself initially, I could see that, it is very challenging for couples sometimes. So I just thought that why not at least introduce this idea in the heads of people that you do have another option in homeopathy.
So it's so brilliant because, of course, you are a doctor, you are a homeopath, and you have gone through this yourself. So absolutely perfect background for this. And of course, we all love it when people come to us asking if we can help with fertility, because for homeopathy, it takes such a different approach, doesn't it? And the majority of people just don't have a choice, or the choice is very, very difficult, very expensive, very emotionally draining, and so leaves the body somewhat suffering afterwards as well. Whereas homeopathy is all about just saying, okay, let's just rebalance this. Let's just see what can be cleared. So it's always such a beautiful experience working with people like this.
I really think that a lot of people don't realize the things that could be contributing to their state of infertility. A lot of people have no idea that, it could be related to taking steroids, or it could be related to taking a lot of antibiotics in their medical history, or it could be just related to their, the grief they suffered, at a particular point, or a trauma that they have suffered in their life. And, when we look at IVF and all of these conventional methods, there is no, they don't focus on these things at all as well. And with homeopathy, the way we approach fertility itself, it is so different. It is
Yes.
so different, because just that balance, to create that balance in the body, I think our approach is completely different. And I really want to educate people on this, that you must consider homeopathy, at least when you have such a diagnosis, because even fertility can be related to a lot of other things going on in the body. Even gut health is related to fertility. But I really think people don't understand. They just think that it is some reproductive hormone that is not functioning, isolated, like separately not functioning, or just a pathology somewhere. But in most of the cases, there is no pathology.
No.
The ultrasounds are clear, and they are just given this diagnosis of unexplained infertility.
Yes.
So it needs to be understood, in a new light, I think. And that is where homeopathy can really make a difference.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, because really nobody else is exploring this, are they? They're
Yes.
not looking at the emotions. They're not looking at trauma. They're not looking at the background, the history, and
Mhm.
even unexplained miscarriages, as you experienced. What wasn't ready about your body to hold a pregnancy through to full term. And that's exactly what homeopathy does, doesn't it? It looks at the whole health, making sure that you're ready. And of course, I forgot to mention that you're also a fertility coach. So you're ideally placed to be helping people understand a little bit more about what's happening. But what's really worrying for me, Dr. Varsha, is what is happening in the world today, because with so many things, we're now second, third generation of contraceptions, infertility is getting larger and larger and affecting more and more of the population. Do you think this is going to continue?
I really hope not, because this has become a very basic issue. Um, I really feel that with more and more people using OCPs, I mean, I have, in my own family, I don't want to name the person obviously, but somebody in my own family was using contraception for about 10 years. And it's without any pathology as well. Now it's looking impossible for them to, conceive.
Yes.
So OCPs themselves are causing such an imbalance. But
Yeah.
again, that's what I'm saying. It's all about knowledge. It's all about, knowing what is harming your fertility levels and what is not right. You've no idea. Recently, I read about using this what we've been using in COVID, the hand sanitizers being related to infertility as well. And now I'm just telling everybody, please don't use the hand sanitizer if you are looking to conceive, because imagine something as seemingly unrelated
Yes.
can be affecting your fertility.
Yes.
So it's really important that we look at our choices in general, as to what we are even using just on our skin when
Mhm.
we are trying to conceive, because it is such a delicate balance that we are just interfering with. And somewhere we are going wrong very majorly. That's why it is increasing in percentage all over the world.
Yes, yes, and you can see this, and you can see the amount of medications and vaccinations and as you said, chemicals that are just going to be upsetting our balance. You can understand this, but there's no information about this for people to
Yeah.
conceive. And what worries me is that becomes the norm that people seek, a medical
Yeah.
help to help solve the problem. But of course, the emotional burden of all of this is huge, isn't it? And if people are starting to worry about it, and perhaps that now people are waiting until later in life to conceive, then they're worrying about that too. And the amount of worry, anxiety, and emotional stress related
Yeah.
to fertility is huge, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's such a vicious cycle, isn't it? I mean, once you get into it, it's like you're worried, and that's again affecting your fertility even more. And you're just stuck there basically in that cycle. I even heard a fertility coach recently saying that about 60% of their cases were getting better results only with lifestyle changes.
Oh, isn't that
So,
fantastic?
so I mean, that's hopeful. I feel that's giving people with this diagnosis a bit of hope that this is not IVF or surrogacy is not the only thing to do. There are other things to be done before you go there.
Yes, 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 absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your fertility program.
Okay, so recently I devised this 5-month fertility program, and it is basically in order to uh, deal with people who have, tried everything in order to conceive and they have been disappointed, or you've taken all the supplementation that you've been advised and you're not seeing any results, or, you've done so much medical testing, nothing is really. So a lot of people are, at that stage. And some people also have a history of repeated miscarriages after conceiving naturally, but they are not going anywhere with that. The conception is natural, but it follows with the miscarriage. So, for all of these people, I thought I'll come up with this program, and it includes 3 consultations: the initial consultation as well as the 2 follow-ups over a period of 4 to 5 months. Obviously, remedy prescriptions are included in this. Then the detox, if needed, in a particular case, let's say if a detox is needed, then advice regarding that. The dietary supplementation, if any, required in a particular case, or any medical testing, if at all that has not been done. So all of that is included in this program. And that's it. I just thought that it'll help people just get to a better place, in their journey, if they just did at least a few consultations to rebalance their system overall.
Brilliant, brilliant. And of course, they could carry on working with you after the program if needed, because of course, for some people, it might take longer. But the wonderful thing about us working with fertility people is that we've got results. It's quite easy to see, yes, we've got pregnancy. No, we're not quite there yet. What else needs to be cleared? But we do have a brilliant record, don't we?
Yes, absolutely. That's where, I feel very motivated, because when you see results in your own patients, you feel very motivated that, yes, you can do this, and you are already seeing results. So, it is extremely encouraging when you see about 60% success rate in your cases, at least 60 to 70%. I can say, I don't want to sound extremely, like I'm not trying to heighten my sense of achievement here, but at least I can say 60 to 70% results are there. So I'm extremely motivated to, help more and more people with this diagnosis.
So what you're actually saying though, Varsha, is that 60 to 70% of your clients are just taking lifestyle changes, homeopathic remedies, which are very, very natural and work with the body, not against the body, and seeing changes that large medical programs have not seen the changes for.
I am absolutely saying that because if you see the success rates for IVF, they are much, much lower than this,
Yeah.
Especially after 37 or 38 years of age. The percentage of results is extremely lower. So yes, I am absolutely, I'm chuffed and I'm very excited for this for sure.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And we do have quite a few people coming to us who are just reaching 40 as well, who
Yes.
want help and make sure that everything is right and in order to have pregnancies, and we are able to see absolute results with using homeopathy. It's such a wonderful way?
Mary, it's not like we don't want people to go for IVF or go for surrogacy. Of course, for some of them, it could be really, really needed. But at the same time, I want them to first try the natural approach and see if it works for them. Also, there are some people now on my client list who are using homeopathy when they're going into IVF, the next cycle, or when they are going into their egg retrieval or their embryo transfer. Like, let's say you're going into your embryo transfer the next month or in the next 2 months, then with using homeopathy, their chances are increased of implementation, of implantation of the embryo. So it's helping them achieve what they want to achieve. The concern is not how it happened. The main concern is the result, that they should be getting a healthy child that they want, basically, out of the entire process.
Perfect. Such a brilliant opportunity for people to actually learn a lot more about what is happening in their body as well, and what might be stopping pregnancy from happening. Let's just touch on the subject of miscarriage, because it is, again, very emotional time for people. But when people have experienced miscarriage, how does homeopathy help recover from a miscarriage and help the body become ready for a full-term pregnancy?
So, oh my God, that is such a huge topic you've just touched on. Because when I think about homeopathy for miscarriage, it's about 300 to 400 remedies that we have in our literature itself that can help with repeated miscarriages. Now, in the current scenario, there are so many external factors that need to be managed along with taking the remedy. So there are remedies in homeopathy that can address the uterine laxity. When the uterus is not able to hold the fetus in a normal, healthy way, and it is just the weakness, basically the organ weakness on the part of the patient, on the part of a particular patient, then we have remedies to address that. So depending upon each case, how the miscarriage is happening, even if, I mean, you being a homeopath, you know about this, that at what stage is the miscarriage happening, in which month is it happening, even that is extremely important for us to decide on the indicated remedy. So it is just beautiful. If you just refer to our literature, you will see so many remedies that have action on particular organs. We can support the organs when a person has a positive pregnancy, and that is why once the conception is achieved, I have put in place some pregnancy programs as well, especially for these people who have a history of miscarriage, and they need to be supported during the pregnancy also, and then prepare them for a healthy birth. So that is also something that I offer once the conception is achieved.
Perfect. Okay, so what we're saying is that whatever the history, whatever the imbalance, there is probably a remedy just for that exact bit.
Yes, and it is so surprising as a homeopath when I read about remedies. So there's a reference to with sterility or with infertility, a person is blaming themselves for it.
Yes.
And then there are specific remedies for that.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to point out that every bit of information that we get in a particular patient can be so important for us to be prescribing in a homeopathic manner.
Yeah.
So that is why the detailed consultations and the follow-ups in place, so that we don't miss on those relevant things that the patient is going through physically as well as emotionally.
Okay. So brilliant, isn't it? So each individual journey,
it's extremely important, because everybody is experiencing this diagnosis in a different way.
Yes. Yeah.
Their mindset is very different. Their reaction to it is very different. So that is why the homeopathic approach is such a beautiful approach for this.
It is, because of course some people are a lot more sensitive to certain things. Some people are affected by certain things. Some people have got huge amounts of family issues happening. Some people have got a huge amount of guilt or worry or anxiety or fear happening. So it's not surprising, is it, that we need different remedies to help these bricks of it's a whole tower, isn't it, of emotional and physical symptoms that can be leading to this diagnosis.
I would want to mention a very somebody who doesn't have too much of a background on homeopathy might be very surprised that a woman came to me for conception, but when I was speaking to her, she said that somewhere I feel, what is the point of bringing a child into this world at this point, after COVID has happened, and the world is not a good place to bring a child in. So that psychology behind the difficult conception itself was indicating a remedy.
Yes.
So I'm just saying that it is so individual. Not every person who is trying to conceive would have that kind of a mindset, right? Some particular people might, and a particular remedy is going to help them.
Yes.
So it's extremely interesting.
It's absolutely fascinating, but this now explains why a fertility program is needed, because this is not one remedy goes to everybody that have got this diagnosis. This is a journey.
It cannot work like that. It cannot work like that. I have really tried to suggest some general remedies to people, but I have to say that the results are not there because we are not addressing the core issues.
Exactly. So unless these causes are addressed, the fertility will continue. Dr. Varsha, where can people find out more about you? You've got a website and you've got a program. I can put the details of those underneath, but please do say what your website is, because you're just launching a new website as well.
Yes, only for infertility now, infertility and pregnancy, so to speak. So that is called homeofhomeopathy.com.
That's lovely. And they can find out more information about the program, about you, about working with you, about the remedies and what might be happening there.
Yes, absolutely, you can. And that is a specialized website only for this diagnosis. And that is why I'm launching it now. And I hope you will go check it out.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been so lovely talking to you. And I'm sure that a lot of people here are going to be absolutely fascinated to find out more, and also let people that they know that homeopathy can be so useful for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity again. Thank you.
Thank you, Varsha, for going through everything that you're doing with fertility. It is just so brilliant to hear what homeopathy can be doing. Next week, I'm going to be talking to you about our Homeopathy at Home app. This is available on your phone, your iPad, and just how to use it and how useful it might be with your first aid prescribing. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and look forward to listening to our next one. Please don't forget to follow our podcast on your chosen channel, and please do leave us a review so we can continue to share homeopathy with as many people as possible. If you do have any questions, please do reach out to us on any of our social platforms mentioned in the show notes. We at Homeopathy 24/7 hope to empower you on your natural health journey.